morning, friends. It is Thursday, and we're going to do a little bit of math review together today. So if you want to get out a piece of paper and a pencil before we get started, those would be two great tools for you. If you need to press pause on the video to get those, you can. But today we're going to be looking at some word problems. You've been looking at all kinds of different problems with Miss Segura and Miss Hall and Miss Downing this week, and today we're going to look at some word problems, okay? So, the first one we're going to look at says, Sam read 4 books to his baby sister. Then he read some more to his mom. He read 13 books altogether. How many did he read to his mom? So, before we do anything, I'm going to get my marker, or maybe you get your pencil, and I'm going to circle the numbers. Remember, we always want to circle the numbers first when we're solving a word problem. So, I see the number 4. And I see the number 13. But I also want to read back through the problem because it may not be telling me to just add 4 plus 13. So let's look back at our problem and see what words we can find that might help us solve the problem. Sam read 4 books to his baby sister. Does that tell us if we need to add or subtract? Nope. Then he read some more to his mom. Oh, now we know when we hear the words some more, there's probably going to be a what? A missing addend or an unknown number. Because we started with 4, then how many more did he read to his mom? We don't know. He read 13 books altogether. So how many books did he read altogether? 13. So we know that we're going to start with 4. Then he read some more to his mom. Do we know how many more he read? Nope. So we're going to add, but we don't know that number. We've got our mystery number. And he read 13 all together. On your paper, you can write this number sentence so we can solve the problem together. Okay? So he started off reading 4 books. Then he read some more. Altogether, he read 13. So we need to find out how many more did he read to his mom. Now, there are several different ways that you could solve this problem. One of the ways you could solve this problem is by starting with 4 and counting up to 13. So we're going to start with 4, and I'm going to draw circles right here until I get to 13 circles. So I'm going to start with 4, and then I'm going to count 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How many more circles did I have to draw? I had to draw 9 more circles. I'm actually going to use a different color so we can see it. Oh. My markers are trying to roll away from me. Okay, so we started with 4. And we added 9 more. Now let's double check our work. Make sure we do get to 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Does that equal 13? It sure does. Now, there's another strategy we could use. We could also start off with 13. And how many could we cross out? What's our known number, the number that we do know? 4. We could cross out 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we could count how many we have left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I get the same answer? I sure did. So we know that if Sam read 4 books to his baby sister and he read some more, 9 more to his mom, does that get us to 13 altogether? It sure does. If you want to go back and re-watch this to help you solve some of your problems today, you can. But we're going to go ahead to our next problem. We're going to do one more problem today. This problem says Laura had 15 crayons in her pencil box. She gave some to George. Now she only has 8 crayons. How many did she give to George? So remember, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to circle our numbers. So I'm going to read, I'm going to look for numbers this time. Laura had 15 crayons. There's one number in her pencil box. She gave some to George. Now she only has, oh, there's another one, 8 crayons. How many did she give to George? Now, I'm going to go back through and look for the words that are going to tell me if I need to add or subtract. Laura had 15 crayons in her pencil box. Do any of those words tell me if I need to add or subtract? Nope. She gave, ooh. If you give somebody something, do you have more or less? You have less. If I had $5 and I gave you $2, would I have more money or less money? I would have less money. So normally gave is going to tell us to subtract. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my subtraction sign with my spots for my numbers. So I'll be ready. She gave some to George. Do we know how many she gave to George? No. So I'm going to underline that one because it's going to tell us there's an unknown number. Now she only has 8 crayons. How many did she give to George? All right, so now we need to figure out how many she started with. What is our first number going to be? So how many did she start with? She started with 15. Do we know how many she gave to George? How many she lost? We don't. So what is that going to be? An unknown number, exactly. Now she has 8 left. So what is our number sentence equal? It equals 8. So we need to figure out how many did she give to George. Okay, so let's think. What is one way we could solve this problem? We could start with 15, okay, because that's our known number. What is our other number that we know? 8. Now, am I going to draw 8 more circles? No, I'm going to cross out 8 because I want to figure out how many are left. So I crossed out 8. Now look really closely. Tell me how many were left over. Good. There were 7. So if she started with 15 in her pencil box and she gave some to George, she would have 8 left. We know that if we start with 15 and we cross out, we could also flip it. Watch. We can start with 15 and we can cross out 7. And we would have 8 left over, just like our number sentence is telling us. Exactly. All right, that's the main strategy that we're going to use for these types of problems. If you guys have any questions, be sure to ask your teacher or your mom or dad or grandma, whoever you're working with today, and I'm sure they will be glad to help you. We hope you guys are doing great. Make sure to message your teacher if you have any questions. We can't wait to be back with you guys soon.